Hello everyone, welcome back to another episode of our /Entitled People. In today's episode, entitled friend doesn't understand the concept of a white elephant exchange. Coworker makes me wait to use the bathroom. Brother wants to LS swap his 01 Dodge Ram. And he's upset neither I or my parents will lend him money he'd never want to pay back. Before we get started, make sure to subscribe so you will never miss a video. So let's get started. Entitled friend doesn't understand the concept of a white elephant exchange. This all happened almost 10 years ago, but after spending all morning reading stories on this sub, I felt like sharing my own experience. For years, I am early 30s at the time, was close friends with Brittany, same age as me. Brittany and I had gone to college together, gone on trips together, and were pretty much inseparable. She had always had a bit of an entitled streak to her, but it was never anything drastic. She usually kept it restrained to things like being the only one to pick which restaurant our group of friends went to or having her seat in each friend's home. Annoying, yes, but pretty mild overall. Then, Christmas hit. A mutual friend of ours decided to hold a Christmas get-together for our large, extended friend group, which included both me and Brittany. This friend, Mary, had recently gotten married and bought a new house with her new husband, Matt. Mary's wedding had been a small, private, family-only affair. To celebrate with friends, as well as celebrate their new house and the holiday, Mary invited about 30 people from our extended friend group to a big Christmas party. It was wonderful. Mary has always been one hell of a cook, and she insisted on providing everything for the guests. She did all of the cooking, bought tons of drinks, alcoholic and non-alcoholic, and made sure none of her guests were without a drink or plate of amazing food all night. Mary had only one request for her guests. Each person bring a gift to contribute to a white elephant gift exchange. Happily, especially given how much Mary and Matt shelled out to feed us all, we all brought a gift. For those not familiar, white elephant exchanges, called Yankee Swap or Dirty Santa in some places, involve everyone bringing a wrapped gift. Then, one by one, each person chooses a gift from the pile. The first person opens her chosen gift. Then, the second person can either open a new gift or steal the first person's gift. Third can steal second's or first's gift or pick a new one. On and on until everyone has had a chance. Then, the first person gets the last chance to steal. One rule put in place in a lot of these exchanges is that a gift can only be stolen twice. So, if you are the third person to get your hands on a gift, it is yours for good and no one can take it from you. This was the downfall of Mary's gift exchange, at least when it came to Brittany. The gift exchange started and people were having fun stealing blankets, candles, gift cards, and the like from other friends. And no one was upset if their gift was stolen. Hell, it's all for fun and we are all friends, right? Well, Matt, Mary's new husband and party co-host, was really good at making his own beer. As his gift in the exchange, he wrapped up a full case of this amazing dark stout that he made. Bob opened that and was excited. We all knew how amazing the beer was as we had been drinking it all night at the party. Then, Tim stole the beer from Bob. We laughed. Bob was disappointed, but he gave it over to Tim in spirit of the game. Then, it was my turn. I stole the beer from Tim. Like Bob, Tim was disappointed, but willingly gave me the beer and laughed along with his disappointment. Notice that I was the third owner of the case of beer? That means that, per the rules of Mary's game, I was safe from having the beer stolen from me. Brittany was the next to go. She tried to steal the beer but was reminded, by several people, that the beer had been stolen twice, so was now, officially, mine. Instead of just picking a new gift or stealing someone else's, Brittany threw a fit. All the other gifts suck, that's not fair, the beer's the only thing I want, I wouldn't have played if I knew this stupid rule. On and on she went. She was making everyone uncomfortable, especially Mary. Matt intervened and politely asked Brittany to just play along. He reminded her there were still a few bottles of the stout in the kitchen if she wanted one. But, no, Brittany couldn't handle not having the full case to take home with her. She pouted and refused to pick another gift or play the game. So, we skipped her. The game continued on and everyone, other than Brittany, had a gift. With only one gift left, Brittany was forced to take that or nothing. She chose nothing and, on top, continued to be *tch and moan about how unfair the rules were. The person who brought the unclaimed gift took it back and gave it to Mary and Matt as a housewarming gift. Seeing that, Brittany stormed out and left. I thought that would be the end of it, but I was wrong. Over the next few days, I was barraged with text messages from Brittany demanding that I give her the case of Matt's beer. She didn't ask if I would share it, which I probably would have done. She demanded that I give it to her outright, saying you know the rules were bullshit and it should have been mine, anyway. When I told her no, she started with guilt trips. You make more money than me, so you can buy expensive beer and I can't, we've been friends for so long, it's only right, you're just being selfish. The final message from her was I hope you choke on it, asshole. I blocked her number, removed her from my FB friends list, and haven't spoken to her since. Nor, for that matter, have Mary and Matt nor about a third of the party guests. She lost a lot of friends, all over a case of beer. It was damned good beer, though. I thought of Brittany every time I drank a bottle. Wow, what a brat. Ruining the whole party over a silly gift. And if you had played by her rules, then the next person would have stolen it from her anyways. We know in our hearts that she would have changed the rules again so no one could steal the beer from her. I hate White Elephant because someone always gets bent out of shape. I started a job a few days before Christmas, and they did a White Elephant exchange. We were all supposed to bring a $20 gift. I bought a $20 box of chocolate because I had no idea what to bring. The girl who ended up with my gift was throwing a fit that she ended up with a stupid box of candy. Meanwhile, she brought a shoe box with 5 random things from the dollar store that I ended up with, a dish towel, an ornament, and some candles. I didn't say a word, but I felt about 3 inches tall. My high school color guard did one, but we didn't open the gift until everyone had one in their lap. Biggest box ended up being full of glitter and a half-eaten burger. We all laughed at that, lol. Top tier entitlement. I bet she was shocked that she was told no and it stuck even after her antics. What a great way to just move along with the party and with your life. The way I play White Elephants is I keep an eye out for whoever seems disappointed with their gift and steal it from them so they can make another pick. This one time a co-worker's kid was at a company White Elephant and he unwrapped some crap gift that I could tell he was unhappy with. So when it came my turn I swiped it from him and went back to my seat like it was the coolest thing I had seen. The real gift was Brittany removing herself from the friend group, and no one can steal that one away. Coworker makes me wait to use the bathroom. First time posting here, but let's get into it. I work with this dude, we'll call him Tyler. He tries to take every big sale at work, go outside for hours, and just generally annoy the heck out of me. I had my gallbladder removed in May, so I need to use the bathroom more than a normal person, not a big deal, but today Tyler decided to lounge in the bathroom, after I told him I needed to use it. So I've decided, if I end up not being able to make it to the restroom, I'll have him fired. I have a literal health issue, and he still sat in the bathroom for 10 extra minutes. I had to get my husband to stop at a gas station because I almost used the bathroom in a 5-minute car ride, so it could have been bad. Edit here, I can see where I didn't add enough. If he was using the restroom, I would not be upset at all. There have been plenty of times where other people are in there and I need to go, and I've never been mad, but I heard him coughing and ripping his vape through the door. This is not the first time he has stopped someone from going to the bathroom when they need to go. I know other people have issues and I would never question someone, unless it was blaringly obvious they were not using it. We've already had issues with him, and that was one of them. I've had my gallbladder out too, and people just don't understand to get out of the way when I have to go or to get out quicker. Definitely start taking notes of what this guy is doing and report him to management. Time is toilet visits, and don't tell management you are doing this, but just for your own amusement. Then ask management for a second toilet because there isn't sufficient for you to be able to access one when you want. Then when management asks why there's issues accessing a toilet, you can present your data because Tyler sits in there for half an hour at a time, and usually scurries in there just when he sees me heading towards it. Obviously, since my surgery I have urgency issues that aren't easy to manage, so I need access to a second toilet for when Tyler needs to scroll his phone in private. Sit in Tyler's office chair and piss in it, lol. It won't be pissing. Having your gallbladder removed causes immediate urgency to release the lava of Satan. Especially after you eat. RIP Tyler's chair. A few times a day head towards the bathroom when you don't need to go. Document if he runs in there first and how long he stays. Brother wants to LS swap his 01 Dodge Ram. And he's upset neither I or my parents will lend him money he'd never want to pay back. I was supposed to be done posting here. But I guess not. In my last post I told a very long story about my brother and his insistence on buying a POS Dodge Ram that I helped him fix up because I was too nice to say no. A lot went wrong with that truck, from a blown head gasket to the transmission dying, getting replaced, and then dying again. And he finally admitted the Ram was a lost cause. But it wasn't a surprise from me that he changed his mind. He didn't get any offers for the truck. Mainly because he was trying to ask way more than it's worth. And you can only get so much dollar out of a polished turd. Since then it's just been sitting in the front yard of the house of potheads my brother rented half a room in. Though actually, he's recently moved into that camper he bought and I helped him fix because the owner of the house added another tenant. So he gave up his space to live in the camper since it's parked alongside the house and he no longer has to share a room. Gives him more privacy, I suppose. Not sure if I'd trade my apartment for a camper though. Not unless I had to anyway. My brother supposedly gave up on the Ram. But he changed his mind when a friend of his told him they know a guy that offered to LS swap the Ram for him. Now I'm not the most knowledgeable person. But aren't LS small block V8s? The Ram has a big block 5.7 Magnum. Quite a size difference between the two. Then again, I don't really know if the 5.7 quite qualifies as a big block either. And I suppose it's not the size of the engine, but the power. And my brother has his eyes set on an LS V8 engine in the junkyard. Out of what vehicle I don't know. But it's apparently a working engine complete with a transmission and cooling system parts. And they want $1,000 for all of it. My brother wants to put that engine and transmission in his Ram. But he doesn't have the money. The guy who does LS swaps has offered to put the engine in for him for $2,000 if he does most of the teardown of the engine bay and gets the old engine and transmission out, as well as all the needed parts ready. So now my brother has been going around asking friends and family to borrow $3,000. And no one will lend him the money. Especially not me or my parents. I have the money, but I learned long ago not to never lend my brother anything because he refuses to pay it back unless you make him. And even then he tries to act like he doesn't remember owing anyone anything. He previously owed me $2,000 already. Until I made him pay most of that back a year ago. He still owes me $400 if it. And I kept records because I frankly don't trust him. Our parents are not in a position to lend my brother money, even if they wanted to. My dad is retired with a bad back and knee, and waiting on approval for government benefits. And my mom still works, and is the primary bread earner for the house right now. My brother went to them begging, and they told him no. And he really made a fuss when they did. Soon after my brother left their house, I got a call from my parents telling me my brother was likely headed to see me next because they refused to lend him money. They said that he tried to use his daughter as an excuse again. And that he hates driving a minivan that he refers to as a chick car. He wants his truck back. And he figures if he puts GM parts in it, then it'll be hunky-dory. Yeah, I helped him with that truck so much. But with the lack of appreciation for my help, and his taking credit for the work I did, especially when I worked on a camper for him and he claimed he did all the work on it to his friends during a camping trip. Then turned his aggression on me when our parents told him to stop lying in front of everyone. My parents warned me that bro was likely on his way to see me next. And sure enough, a few minutes later I saw his van pull in. He got out and then did some sort of walk around of my Tundra, twice. Yeah, he's clearly still mad I have a working truck and he doesn't. In my previous post I talked about how he actually wanted me to trade vehicles of the minivan for my Tundra when his Ram died, and then he threw a tantrum when I refused. Not only is that not a fair trade, but he acted like it was the most brilliant idea ever when he suggested it. Then practically had a meltdown when told his idea sucked. So until coming to my door to beg for money, he's not spoken to me in weeks. I opened the door and confronted him before he even knocked. And just so he wouldn't know our parents warned me, I asked him what he wanted. He beat around the bush, then gave me his whole crocodile-teared sob story of needing the $3,000 for the LS swap. I swear, he worded it like I'd be giving money to orphans in need. I mean, he even did the bit with cupping his hands together. Just how much of a sap did he think I was? I told him to stop begging and reminded him of the money he's already owed me for years now. Which he conveniently didn't remember. Till I went into my closet and pulled out all of the old IOUs he signed, and the total of all those loans I had written down, as well as a dated record of every payment he'd made with a signature on each one. And the total of how much he still owes. There's no way he could forget how I made him sign that sheet every time he made a payment. And I stated as much. Then said I could never trust him to pay back anything, and could file to sue him tomorrow for what he still owes me if I wanted to. He was not happy and called me a douche. Then he complained that all he wanted before was for me to lend him my truck so he won't look pathetic. I told him he looked pathetic regardless of what he was driving. And I'll never let him borrow my truck. Nor would I argue about it again. He got mad and said I sucked because I couldn't just give him a little help when he needed a leg up. I laughed when he said a little and yelled at him that I helped him a lot. And then listed off all the things I could remember doing for him the past 2 years. And he was never appreciative, took credit for stuff I did, and hardly ever even gave me a thank you. He took advantage of my kindness and bled it dry. But now I'm fresh out. Then I told him he's the real douche, and I'm never lending to him again. Then told him to get out and not come back till he was ready to apologize to me. He left without another word. When I watched him from the window, he started kicking one of the tires on his van as hard as he could till I think he hurt his foot, because he fell on his ass and then flipped me off when he noticed I was watching. He practically crawled back into the van and drove off. A mutual friend has told me he's depressed now, but is going around and looking for ways to make extra money with odd jobs. Nothing wrong with honest work. But I also hear he's still begging for donations. The mutual friend even texted me a picture of a coffee can with truck fund written on it that my brother has been carrying around. I'm not putting any money into that can, that's for sure. I still think my brother should sell the Ram and cut his losses. But if he wants to put an LS engine in it just to keep it, then fine. I want nothing to do with it. I've had it with that truck and his attitude. I'm not gonna help him with anything anymore till he decides to pull his head out. And it's deep up there too. Like loves the smell of his own stank deep. Unless you all stop treating him like a baby, he will always be one. I know. Which is why we aren't helping him anymore. Not great, I loved him, but I was raised by a mother that took no prisoners with everyone. I babysat all 7 of my younger siblings. They are more like my kids than siblings. But I know people will only rise to your expectations of them. Found out what he is truly passionate about, be it machinery or whatever, and get him in a trade school. Not everyone is a doctor or lawyer. He can get grants to pay for it. Then he can support himself. I will buy a stranger a meal if they are hungry, but I will not hand over money. All this is because your brother thinks his perfectly good minivan isn't macho enough? Someone should tell him Madison Avenue lied and one's genitalia does not change with truck size. I have to admit that when I see one of those tart-up trucks with huge wheels, etc., I see it as a mark of masculine insecurity. If you made it to the end of the video, thanks for watching. Don't forget to like, subscribe and share, and we will see you in the next video.